October day. This is the first of a series of 3 readings. The next one will be next month, July 11th, and maybe last, on the 15th of August. Those are all at 3 o'clock. May extend beyond that, we'll see. First thing I want to read is actually somebody else's. This is from author Charles Bukowski. And it's appropriate. It's called Coffee. I was having coffee at the counter when a man 3 or 4 stools down asked me, "Listen, weren't you the guy who was hanging from his heels from that 4th floor hotel room the other night?" "Yes," I answered. "That was me." "What made you do that?" he asked. "Well, it's pretty involved." He looked away then. The waitress, who had been standing there, asked me, "He was joking, wasn't he?" "No," I said. I paid, got up, walked to the door, opened it. I heard the man say, "That guy's nuts." Out on the street, I walked north, feeling curiously honored. In pretty much every reading, a poet will read a poem about writing, and this one is called Alone with the Machine, and it has an epigram from Ernest Hemingway. He said, "All you have to do to be a writer is sit in front of a typewriter and bleed." My fingertips are jackhammers. They dig into the keys, furious and merciless. The syrup of life oozes from under my nails, splatters onto the board. The M and capital O, the enter key, semicolon, and space bar. The internal pain transmits to my hands. This is the only way. Leave the alcohol on the shelf. Concentrate. Disconnect the phone. Ignore the doorbell's bong. Don't think about her, or last night, or last week, or an unpromised tomorrow. Just pound my digits, force my thoughts into success. This is about correspondence. It's called Best Wishes from Across the Ocean. I told her about the birthday party. She said, "Age is just a number, sweetie." Then a follow-up. "I'll never get my head around your back-slapping Bravo culture. Blah." I wondered if it was a swipe at America in general, or what she perceived as my preoccupation with senior citizenship. This one is from my latest manuscript, which I haven't sent to a publisher yet, and it is about living in the country after I returned here to Ohio. The book is tentatively called Spotted at Harvest. This is Carnivorous Signals. It took me a week to gain correct perspective, understand the significance. The howls mean some have made a kill, a warm deer carcass for a family meal. It is a signal to the pack. They identify the location as I do, a woodlot or a field. Now I understand their silence means they are hunting, could be anywhere. Awareness of every twig snap, every crinkle of leaves, or sound in the creek line is important. They could be anywhere. Uneasiness dictates every flashlight sweep, wide as my fear. Yard sale this Saturday. A selection of items are laid out on picnic tables, scattered on blankets on the lawn. I sit and wait for customers who saw the advertisement in the newspaper. Follow the signs nailed to utility poles around the neighborhood. A few jobs of little value. Some friends who turn toxic. A collection of nights wasted in bars with bottles and musicians. Another collection, insomniac nights decorated with racing thoughts and antidepressants. Another assortment, thousands of days stashed in a trunk labeled career. 2 ex-wives, a matched set of evil. I will let them go for cheap. Shoppers can easily haggle me down on these items. Profits are not my objective. I only want them out of the garage.
That's pretty good.
What's in the bag? He wanted to know, what's in the bag? They all do. They want to know what's in the bag or what's in the box. They hope it's something for them. The longer you take to show them, to give it to them, the more the anxiety and excitement builds within them. If you say later, mystery overwhelms, obsession dominates their little minds. One thing I've really liked to do over the years as a writer is to use the extended metaphor, and it's something I've kind of been known for, and I guess this is a perfect example. A lot of people seem to like this one. It's called My Life is Tender. I was a campfire before the match was struck. Wads of newspaper on the bottom, my crumpled history. Layers of twigs and pine cones piled over it. Illness on my surface, dry and ready for ignition. Sticks piled up next, with thorns of unpleasantness. Accidents and arguments, divorces and career issues, bouts of depression, manic episode swings. The logs stacked on top. Toxic friends and house fires, hospitals and financial napalm. Clouds, the color of motor oil, came from the southwest, surrounded me. Tornado sirens screamed. Winds of punishment blew the dry fuel in anarchic swirl. The match was dropped. Everything whooshed into violent and unforgiving flames. Because that just happens sometimes. Because fate.
Not bad, huh?
Are you familiar with Laurie Anderson?
No.
She is a multimedia artist, and I'm taking some words here from a couple of her songs that I really like. This is called Laurie Anderson. She said, "You don't always realize it, but you're always falling. With each step, you fall forward slightly, and then catch yourself from falling. Over and over, you're falling, and then catching yourself from falling. And this is how you can be walking and falling at the same time." It made me think. When you walk, your steps are always forwards. In theory, it is a positive thing to do. But if you are stepping backwards from a fight, from a bear or a wolf, from a traffic accident, away from a cliff, then it is self-preservation. I wondered if that is positive or negative movement, or both at the same time. I didn't know. I had to concentrate on it. Then she said, it takes a long time for a mouse to realize he's in a trap. But once he does, something inside him never stops trembling. I wanted to read this one, and there's apparently no young parents here. I kind of wanted to get a little bit of a rise out of some young parents with this. This is called Don't Call Them That. I have a suggestion for young parents. Stop giving your children names such as Chandler and Grayson, Caden and Tyler. Plow new ground. Perhaps you might draw from history and mythology. Like this. Hera, I want that bike put in the garage. Look at me when I'm talking to you, Normandy. Honey, I'll take Icarus to soccer tonight. Alamo, Auntie Tam, time for supper. Honey, Persephone made the honor roll again. Thor, no allowance until you cut that lawn. Names shape kids' self-identities. Apollo brings images of art and music, knowledge and healing. Lincoln was renowned for simple wisdom, morals, and righteousness. I think this better than the moniker of a scandalous character in a television drama series. You might as well let them be called Fulcrum, or Kite, or Grass. Even Manifold would mean more than Chase. And no one likes a copycat. This one is called Crayola My Life, and it has an epitaph from, or excuse me, not an epitaph, an epigram from my favorite poet, Charles Bukowski. Have you seen a kid with crayons? He uses every color in the box. I have used or experienced every color. Yellow of sunshine and summer, red of anger and injustice, orange of sugar maple leaves in October, green of envy and coveting, gray of thunderstorms and shadow, white light that cuts the night, purple of my music that floats on the air, maroon of rumination, sea foam of the Pacific and Atlantic, pine barrens, swamp brown, black thoughts born of problems, sunset pink skies. The only one left is blue, a nub now, all paper wrap peeled away. Sometimes short to the point is the best. This is called a quandary of sorts. Some of them want hugs and kisses, exchange of kind words before they walk through the door. Others stomp out, angry and hurt. They cry and yell, no tokens of affection, physical or verbal. You may wonder if I refer to ex-girlfriends, ex-wives, or house guests on Big Brother. This is called Be Maple. Maple is a lab who lives behind us. She strays from her yard. This afternoon, as I floated in the pool, I heard her owner call. She called again. Maple had disobeyed. I heard a crash in the bushes at the creek line. Then there was splashing in the water. A woman screamed. Maple had ignored her. She ignored her owner and did what she wanted. Sometimes we all need to be Maple for a while. Astronomy is a side interest of mine. And this has to do with the changes. It's called Seasons in the Ring. It is time for you to go, Orion. Like it or not, the vernal equinox has passed. Taurus has come over the horizon to chase you to below the equator again. Your sword, no match for his horns. You were a matador who should know. No time to prance and wave the cape. No assistance from the picadors. No roses are forthcoming. Time to run and jump the gate before your lame suit is pierced, stained the color of death. I have a couple of poems about the night. This one is called Nocturnal Prevention. Last night, in the fog of near sleep, I stood in the backyard with a package of hot dogs. I fed chunks to my dog beside me and threw others into the cornfields that surround the yard. I was doing this so I could get into the house before the wolves in the fields could catch us. I snapped to the realization that I do this not just every night, but every time I begin to fall asleep. I do it to keep the wolves from devouring me and my dog in our dreams. I couldn't sleep then. After hours, I sat up and looked at my companion on the bed. He had been watching me. His eyes seemed to say, "Damn it, man, why don't you toss the bites?" This one's a true story, unfortunately. It's called Nocturnal Collision Course. I am in a new house. Last night, I awoke thirsty at 4 a.m. Stumbled to the kitchen for water. Realized how I don't have the arrangement of furniture memorized as I slammed into the coffee table. I said things. Rather, I yelled things. I am 60 years old and would not want my mother to know these words streamed from my mouth, let alone hear them. This morning, my knees are stiff and swollen. They appear to belong to a hemophiliac. It is not weather for shorts. No one will see them until they are healed. I will try to figure a way to lock myself in the bedroom at night, or perhaps pad the furniture until not a danger to myself.
I remember when he did that on his brother.
It had to be this way. He always rolled snake eyes. Whenever he asked for threes, he had to go fish. Never landed on community chest. Never the last guy to pull a block from the Jenga stack without mishap. He was the episode of Everybody Loves Raymond, in which the brother flicked clicks his wedding ring down the hotel HVAC register. Idiot never gets to call him sarcasm, like Jaws of the crocodile. You heard about the guy that got a fish hook embedded in his cheek when the bass decided it really wanted that worm? That was him in every way. So no, I'm not clairvoyant or psychic or any of those shenanigans. It was common sense when I told him not to volunteer for the magician's Saw the Man in Half trick. Viewing at Woody Funeral Home, 120 North Main Street, Thursday, 7 to 9 p.m. This one's about a good friend of mine. Another true story. It's called Figure It Out. We were headed southbound on I-270 that Saturday. We passed a van traveling north. On its roof rack were stacked about a dozen ladders. We looked at each other. "What if you want the one on the bottom?" he asked me. I didn't have an answer. I was glad I wouldn't need one. I have my own stupidities with which to deal. I'm close to animals, and I've written a couple in which they have a little something to say. This is called The Ingrades. I sat on the back porch with my morning Java, legs crossed in my Adirondack. A cardinal landed on the feeder a dozen feet away. "Hey you, fill the feeder, let's go," it chirped at me. I ignored it, kept my eyes on Facebook. It didn't know that I was out of seed and couldn't run to the store since a technician was on his way to the house to connect the wire. Then a house finch landed on the Nylar feeder. "Show me the thistle. Show me the thistle," it squawked in my direction. I ignored it too, but it moved to a closer perch, continuing to nag at me. I'm grumpy most mornings, including this one. I wanted to throw something at it, but kept the urge in check. Then I heard chatter farther down the yard. On the fence was Stubbs the squirrel, named for the results of his experience with Buddy the Terrier. "Dude," he called to me, "I don't see any peanuts in the dish." "Don't be a slacker. Get the peanuts, the ones in the shelves." All three got on my nerves with their choruses. I stood, and they got silent. "Let me tell you something," I started. "You come here because my neighbors don't put food in for you. I'm kind and feed you, but this isn't the Golden Corral buffet." I stepped to the bird bath. "I don't have anything right this minute. You aren't starving, any of you. Eat worms for a while, like robbers." I dumped my coffee into the basin. "Have some Folgers while you wait," I said. As I turned to walk into the house, I chided in her direction. "You'll find it's good to the last one."
That's cool.
This is about camping. It's called Only If They Let You. Last night, the wildlife wanted to make a point about the territory as I tried to sleep. First was a possum that abruptly woke me. I forgot the rule of how an animal in the brush sounds much larger than it is as I swept the trees with flashlight, sure of coyotes or a bear in search of garbage. Whoops. I knew that was going to happen. Okay. Next, the birds had their turn with me. A barred owl chided me by changing its song of "Who cooks for you? Who cooks for you all?" to "Who needs to sleep? Who needs to sleep now?" About 40 yards away, I heard its mate chime its approval with a cuckold "haw" for each. When the owls vacated, I settled back into my sleeping bag, but the whippoorwills decided they should have fun with me. They swapped their trademark calls for "Stay awake! Stay awake! Stay awake!" Then the amphibians took a turn, though they were not satisfied with anything but mockery. Tree frogs that were both close and loud tormented me as they harangued my ears with their nasal croaks of "Sleep, sleep, sleep." And in a distant vernal pool, the voices of 100 spring peepers prodded my nerves with their smart aleck admonitions as they squat in the brackish water of "Sleep, sleep, 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 sleep." These creatures are intelligent. They knew that if I decided to take pot shots in their general direction, I had no chance whatsoever of a direct hit. They are lucky nature provided them with camouflage in the dark, not construction worker colors. Since Father's Day is coming up, everybody writes occasional poems, and I wrote this one, tried real hard to not make it sound poem art. And this is called "The Old Guy."
Yeah, good. I got the word goddess.
The Old Guy. Here's what I have learned from that old guy who sits asleep in the chair with book on lap, chin on chest. Don't practice karate kicks or wrestling moves in the house unless you think emergency rooms are fun. Set the parking brake before you jack up the car. Garage door replacements are expensive. Throw out the wobbly wooden ladder. An aluminum one is cheaper than a ride on a squad. Ink pens are only for people who don't make mistakes. In other words, no one. It doesn't matter if the juice from your corn and pork and beans touches the chicken on your plate. It is all going to the same place. Math is important, not stupid. You will need it all through your life. Always follow the directions that come with the chemistry set. The smell of burning cobalt and sulfur won't come out of the carpets. Don't touch the wires of a race car set transformer to your tongue. These and more were hard lessons, some reinforced at the end of a belt or in the stew of a week's grounding. Of course, deja vu with my kids. A son who bit the heads off green plastic army men and shoved them up his nostrils, refused to clean his room, always found and opened hidden presents. A teenage daughter's joints found stashed in the air vents of my truck. A sprained ankle from an attempt to sneak out of the house through a bedroom window at midnight. No, let him snooze there, absorbed in dreams of his military days and the Louis L'Amour West. He's earned it. I think I'll join him after I finish my cake. And I will read read just a couple things from my books to finish.
Thank you.
Let's see.
We don't much like each other, do we? We don't look much like each other.
No, I wouldn't have guessed each other.
Wrote this one for a close friend. It's called Upon Her Leaving, I think. With a pinhole camera, I try to photograph the magpie, but it flies off against the thunder of afternoon and clouds the color of dusk. The wind shears against the outstretched wings as it sails out of sight to the west. She leaves me here alone with my thoughts and my collections of natural things, fossils and insects and feathers and old dry bones, memories of other summers, other falls boxed and cataloged, chaos otherwise contained. I want their image of her the way I want these artifacts. I want to hold them close, to pull them from a drawer when I need to remember. Coleoptera, Lepidoptera, phylum Arthropoda, hidden trophies in an otherwise empty corner of a clammy basement on an afternoon filled with the silence of the skies. I will bang my muddy boots together, shake the muck from the soles before I step back into the study, place the camera back on the shelf among the field guides and storage trays and dusty arrowheads. There will be other days and other birds to capture. Every writer at some point or another struggles with the words or inspiration not coming, and sometimes something causes that. This is called The Television Murdered My Muse. He snuck up behind her and choked her to death right here in my living room. He closed off her airway with ragged, angry fingers as she sat in contemplation on the edge of the couch during a commercial break for super shanties. She lays there now like a blow-up doll, lifeless, deflated, cold as plastic, eyes frozen open in a polyethylene stare, lips parted slightly, unnaturally. I could write so well with her at my side or on my lap. The lines would flow strong and hot as her tongue flicked in my ear and her fingers found their way south in exquisite exploration. I should have foreseen this, should have expected it to happen, since both constantly vied for my attention in the evenings as I sat behind my laptop, trying to concentrate on the arrangement of words in my head. I cannot wake her. No one can. What television kills cannot be revived. I could avenge her and myself with a click of the remote control. But no, I will privately and quietly bury her in the backyard beside Kitty and Fluffy after the sun sets behind the neighbor's house. Those are both from my book Big Time, which is available through Maverick Duck Press online. Let's see. Okay, just two more. This is another one about writing, and it's from my latest book that was published last year called Gnawing on a Friend. And this is poetry and shellfish. It's like crabbing, this business of poetry. You throw your wire trap out with a chicken wing or liver in it, a hold onto the cord waiting for the tugs. Sometimes you come up with seaweed. It takes 10 minutes to get off. Sometimes you only get small mussels or an eel. Other times you catch nothing at all. You miss the big one. You have to have a good feel for the line, a steady hand, the willingness to believe in your ability to capture something good. Remember, no one is perfect. No one gets the crab every time. Everyone gets their share of worthless sea garbage in the cage. Go to the edge of the shore with your trap, line in hand, a strong extended metaphor in your back pocket. Crab like you really need it, like you'll starve without it. This one's for my grandmother, the beautician. My grandmother was a hairdresser. She ran a beauty shop in the basement of her little suburban rancher, Lois's Beauty Parlor. It had 2 chairs, light pink walls, and stank of hair coloring chemicals. Man, those women loved to talk. She was in big demand at funeral homes because she didn't mind fixing the hair of the deceased old ladies. Many of them were her former customers. When her time came, she was not afraid, for not only had she cradled death's head in her hands, she had also teased its bangs and touched up its roots. Again, that's from Gnawing on a Friend, also available. Maverick Duck Press, which is online. Thank you.
Thank you.
For listening. Again, we'll be here again on July 11th, August 15th, both Thursdays at 3 o'clock.